All right, so I think I finally got this figured out. So we'll just see how this looks when I edit this and when I upload this. Plus, I just decided, you know what? I want to sit down and make a video today. Like, I don't know, not even today. I just decided this a few minutes ago. I was like, you know what? I want to film a video, like right now. You know, it looks so bright outside. Anyway, so I decided, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready, take my time, you know, have a nice little session of getting ready, just peaceful or whatever. And then I'm thinking this is gonna be a peaceful process. And it totally wasn't. Like, I ran through almost every problem possible to get this set up. This is the first time I really sat down to film a video in months. Because I've had previous channels, things like that. I'll talk about that later in another video, possibly in the future, I don't know. But yeah, so, and I don't know how this shirt is gonna react. I didn't really think about that. Maybe I should get another shirt real quick. Okay, is this shirt better? This shirt is gray. I figured with me wearing a blue shirt, I'm behind a green screen right now. Also, wow, I'm such an idiot. I forgot to turn my lighting on. I'm so like, why is it so dark? I'm so just like, what is going on? So, yeah, I ran across every problem possible. First, my phone. Thought I was charging my phone while I was getting ready this whole time, only to realize it wasn't charged. It's on 1%, literally, or 3%. So I'm like, ugh. So when I hook my phone up to my laptop, it doesn't work. It just glitches, and I have a charger right now that's probably kind of broken, so it's like glitching. And then when I use on my regular iMac, it actually works. So I'm like, this is the only thing it can be plugged into. Plus, my whole tripod situation looks very ghetto. Everything is just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. You probably can hear my son in the background. He's watching me. He's trying to, I don't know what he's doing. Long story short, I wanted to film a video. I haven't sat down and filmed a video in ages, so, you know, this is my first time filming in a long time, so that's probably why I'm just encountering so many technical difficulties. Also, I don't know how much space I have on my phone, how much time I have to talk. That's another thing. Like, I want to get everything in this video, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get it started right now. I even have a little outline. So, long story short, I'm pregnant. I'm finally telling the internet that I'm pregnant. This is my second pregnancy, so I'm just really, it's definitely a different feeling than the first one. I really can't tell you what the feeling is. All I can say, it's a different feeling. Sometimes I take this ring off. Anyway, so let's get into it. I have a 3-year-old that you might can hear right now. He's sitting there playing. I'll introduce him more so in the channel. I'm just trying to decide, can you even hear me with him talking over me? I'm just trying to decide whether or not I'm just trying to decide what I'm gonna do, honestly, with this channel in general. So that's just that. Remy, you gotta be quiet. You gotta be quiet. Shh, stop talking, okay? So, yeah, he's 3 years old, and I will show more of him and things like that. I'm just trying to get a feel and an idea of what I'm even wanting to do right now. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go through some of the things, like some of the symptoms that I've experienced with this second pregnancy. So pretty much everything has been the same so far. I actually feel like I've been sicker this pregnancy. Thank God. I feel like didn't I say be quiet, Remy? I feel like I'm in my second trimester at this point. I mean, I know I have to be according to how far along I am. So I think I'm about 15 weeks right now. Last time I went to the doctor, I was like 13 weeks, and it's been almost 2 weeks since then. And you know, you don't really go to see the doctor like maybe once a month at this point. When I first found out I was pregnant and just getting everything situated, I had like 3 doctor's appointments back to back to back, but just to get like in the system of like, they did a sonogram, they did a pap smear, and you know, just the whole prenatal appointment. So now that those are out the way, I think my regular checkups are just like once a month. So there's that. In my first trimester, I did experience nausea, just everything a normal pregnant person would experience. I was definitely very nauseous. It was really bad. In the beginning, I definitely felt like my boobs, well, I immediately noticed that my boobs are fuller now, which is really interesting. Does that mean that there's milk already in my boobs? Because they're definitely so much bigger than, well, their size bigger, I don't really know. They were immediately bigger, you know what I'm saying? And at first they hurt, but they don't really hurt anymore. But they're bigger, you know, and I know how my boobs turned out after having my son. Can I say boobs? Should I say breast or something? I know how my breasts turned out after I had my son, because I breastfed him, and after breastfeeding my son, my boobs weren't the best. They weren't just flat, but the shape had definitely just turned into what is going on. They were more saggy. They weren't saggy officially. Remy, you gotta get out of here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. They weren't officially saggy, but now they're just, I feel like my boobs are at their best when I'm pregnant and when I'm breastfeeding. Like, they're just really big. Like, I don't know, they're really full. I'm not used to having a nice full chest. So I just really like my boobs right now. My breasts, I don't really know. It's not something that's like sexual or anything. It's just literally just, they're nice and full right now, and I really like that. And that's also how it is when you're breastfeeding. But they also do other weird stuff when you're breastfeeding that I hate. So the best part right now is you know, they're not leaking with milk, they're not engorged, they're not super, you know, so yeah. All right, and then fatigue. I definitely experienced fatigue. That's all I'll say. We went to the zoo a couple weeks ago for my mom's like birthday week. We just did a bunch of stuff for her birthday. Even though like out of the week, I only went out one day that week because I was just so tired and just whatever. And I went the day that we went to the zoo, and that was probably not the best day for me to include myself, because that was at the height of my first trimester. I felt terrible. I really tried to tough it out, and I technically did, but like it was just really bad. Like I ended up, let's just say this, long story short, Remy, what are you doing? Don't jump off of stuff. Long story short, I ended up having to ride out of there with a wheelchair, but that's just because my grandma rode a wheelchair, and originally that was for her. She ended up walking at the very, very end, like, because I just couldn't do it anymore, and people were looking at me like, anyway, what else? So I want to talk about dealing with a toothache while pregnant. Now I do have my ultrasound picture, and I was going to show you. Maybe I'll show you in a picture or text or something. I don't feel like getting up right now. I really don't. And it's literally right there, but I just don't feel like getting up and getting that. But I have an ultrasound picture, and it's really cute, and everything seems very normal and nice right now. So it's great. That's all I can hope for the most part. That's all I really. So yeah, just now I had to delete some footage, so that just shows like I gotta clean out my phone. I need more storage. I really do. I had to delete some videos. I gotta figure this out if I really want to be a YouTuber. Like, this is just, the struggle's real. But anyway, so the next thing I was going to talk about is dealing with a toothache while pregnant. So I did kind of, vlog the last 2 videos of just the process of my toothache, and I will just talk about it right now. It's been almost a week by now. Tomorrow will officially be a week, and it has been healing very, very well. Actually, better than what I thought. I thought that, well, I didn't think I was going to get what is that, dry socket. I really didn't think I was trying to avoid it at all costs. But I drank out of a straw like 2 days ago, so that just shows how good I'm doing, which is probably a huge no-no. Some people would probably say don't drink out of straws until 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something, but honestly, I know my body, and if I feel that it's okay for me to do something, then I'm gonna do it. I usually take risks as well, and I'm like, a lot of the things that they said to not do, I feel like I started doing like day 2. I started eating solid foods day 2, which was that Subway sandwich. I ended up eating chips. I'm eating chips at this point. I'm eating just the crunchiest things you can imagine, and I'm just fine. I feel the gap, I feel that hole where the tooth was, it's closing. It's probably like kind of cringe, but I feel it closing. I feel my gums closing up. I had stitches right there, and I said there was something in my gums. That's what it was. It's the stitches. And I actually, all week I've just been feeling right there with my tongue, and I just feel the stitches. It just feels like there's a hole, and it feels like there's just stitches. So I've been feeling those stitches all week. Now I think that it's starting to get to the point to where the stitches are dissolving, starting today, because I kind of felt a stitch come loose, and I guess I was getting nervous, but then again I was like, maybe that's just normal, because I looked it up and it might be just normal. The dentist said they're gonna dissolve, so that's probably the process of dissolving, is that they just start to come undone, and they just come out. I don't know. I thought they just literally dissolved like sugar or something, but I guess, I don't know. So I'm not too worried about my stitches. Remy's playing right now. So yeah, for a minute though, I had a toothache really bad for 2 weeks straight. I knew that it was time to do something once it lasted past like a week. Even getting my dentist straightened up was some red tape, so that's why I ended up just going the route of pulling it. I was originally going to get a root canal and a crown, but that's an expensive way to go. And at the time, I just didn't have the money to I just felt like I talked about this before. At this point, I'm just I'm living with it at this point. Like, I'm not upset. It's just a tooth. I mean, yeah, your teeth are pretty important, and I'm not going to hopefully ever get another tooth pulled ever again. But I guess I'm learning my lesson to just, when it comes to your health, you can't put it on the back burner. You can't just keep pushing it back. And if I would have gotten this done so much sooner, it would have been so much less expensive. Could have saved the tooth, so many things, But I waited and waited and waited until I just could not wait any longer. And I do think that my pregnancy probably further caused it to be problems, because your baby draws out calcium or whatever. So I'm just glad that it's gone, because for 2 weeks I felt like I couldn't do anything. So it's good that I can do things now, And the next thing I want to talk about is being pregnant during a pandemic. This is where I go into, it's a different feeling this time around, because I really was not expecting this. I really was not expecting to be pregnant this year. We all know 2020 is a very crazy year, and I wasn't expecting to get pregnant this year. It wasn't just like, this is the year I want to get pregnant, like the year where everything's going crazy. So, there's that. However, the only changes this pregnancy that have to do with the pandemic is I can't have any guests come to the doctor with me, which is fine. I'm an adult. I don't need mommy to hold my hand and I don't need my man to be there anyway. Like, it's fine for me to be by myself. This is my second pregnancy, so I've done this before. I've been through this rodeo before. The doctor's visits are not anything fun anyway. It's just doing what you gotta do and getting out of there as soon as possible. So that's the main thing, you know, you gotta wear masks everywhere. Okay, so real quick, I just want to mention, do I want a boy or a girl? I don't know what the gender is so far. Like I said, I'm about 15 weeks right now, so this is like, it's still kind of a journey from here. You know, there's 40 weeks in a pregnancy, so I may not vlog every week of my pregnancy. Plus, let me show you my belly. Embarrassing. This is my belly right now. I do have stretch marks. I need to get some stretch mark cream. Oh, that's the best that I could do for you. I'm sorry, maybe I can get some pictures and show you better. But yeah, honestly, once again, I just want a healthy baby. I already have a boy, so I would like to have a girl, but if it's a boy, it's fine. Like, I just want to have a healthy baby. I just want everything to work out, and yeah. But it would be nice to have a girl this time. So a few final things that I want to talk about is I'm probably going to be on bed rest towards the end of this pregnancy. I have a tilted uterus, the same thing that I had dealt with the first time. It's a noisy house in here. It's just going to get even noisier, so. It's right there. A straw. And then last but not least, I'm going to wrap this video up now. Come get your cup, it's right here. Right there on the table by the pink thing. Go get your cup. Right there.
My cup?
Yeah, now bring that down.
Okay.
So there is that. The last thing I just wanted to talk about is things are getting easier since I'm in my second trimester. If you are in your pregnancy and you're in the beginning of your pregnancy, just know it gets better. Like, honey, it gets better. I wish I could have, well, I already knew this, but like in the midst of everything that was going on in my first pregnancy, with everything that was going on and how I was feeling earlier in my first trimester, I was just, the only thing that I could think of is like, it's just gonna get better from here. Like, just make it through this first trimester and it will be smooth sailing. Like, the nausea is really no joke, but I'm so glad it's over. I'm definitely not feeling as sick as I used to. Last time I was sick was day 2 of my tooth, because I remember I actually threw up. And that's, a few things happened, you know, like I threw up the first day of my procedure, like that night though, but still, like I was like, oh no, I threw up, did I mess everything up, you know? But that was the last time I threw up so far, and that says a lot considering someone who has been throwing up pretty much every day for the last 3 months and just being sick all day, you know, like finally feeling kind of like myself again. The only thing that I don't feel like myself is I still feel more fatigue, like, but it's different now. I guess I feel more I'm starting to feel out of breath, and I'm starting to feel the weight of the baby on me, and I feel like I almost feel like I'm feeling the baby kick at this point. I feel it moving in there, but I could just be thinking, I don't know if this is the stage where you start feeling the baby, but I think I feel it moving because I know what a baby moving inside of you feels like. So I think I'm feeling the baby, but other than that, yeah, everything is going so much better now. So I hope this video was kind of helpful for what it was. And yeah, so I was